Well, I just want to thank Susie and friends from UPEI for putting this lovely showcase on, and I want to say hello to everyone. I think I'll be connecting with a few of you after hearing your showcases as well. So lovely to be here. I am from Beech Grove Home and Prince Edward Home, the two biggest long-term care facilities in Queens County and of PEI. Both, I will talk maybe a little bit of both facilities, but for right now, I just wanted to start off by giving a motto that we usually do at each volunteer orientation is that residents don't live in our workplace, we work in their homes. And that's a kind of a motto, a philosophy that we like to carry as we are volunteers coming into the homes, and just carrying that person-centered approach that we like to kind of use in our facilities, where the resident is the center of all of our care. And so that's just, I just wanted to kind of give that as a blurb first.
Oh, Jeff, you accidentally put yourself on mute.
Geez, how about that?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start over. So, so with Beech Grove Home, we have about 120 residents living here in long-term care, and Prince Edward Home is about 130. So there's a lot of demand for volunteers, and with, of course, with COVID, it has been just a hard time having people come in and feel safe, for one, but two, knowing that they don't want to bring it in and spread it as well. So we've had quite a long 3 years, but we're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, and we've learned a lot through the course of this, and we are just hoping to open our arms for more volunteers, and hopefully our UPEI students can talk to me after this. I sent contact on the chat, so look forward to your emails. So how do we get to become a volunteer at the facilities? We would sign online as an application form. It's on the Health PEI website. You can do that online, and it goes right to our provincial volunteer portal, and that comes to me. If you are over 18, you will need a criminal record and vulnerable sector check for our vulnerable people. So that would be anyone under 18. You would not need it, just need a reference contact. That being said, what does the role of a volunteer look like here at Beech Grove Home and Prince Edward Home? Usually it's one of two things. You're doing a buddy program where it's one-on-one connections. So you're doing games, you might be playing, depending on what you like to do. If you're a chess player, if you like to play crib, if you have any skills, bring that into the home. The residents would love to see what you have to offer. If you don't have that skill and you don't want to bring it in, we'll have supplies for you for games, for activities hooked up with our recreation department. So that's a big part of our volunteer population, is they will help support the recreation department, putting on programs, doing one-to-ones as well, but also, you know, exercise groups. The girls love to get their nails painted and their hair done. So if you like to glam up our ladies, they would love that. The men's groups, we have that. We like to have pub nights. So we try to make this as a welcoming environment where it's their home, where they get to decide what they do. And we're just that intermediary that's going to make that happen. So with Prince Edward Home, we have a larger population under 65. So anyone that's kind of in that let's say Gen X area or younger, we like to connect them with them. We have a community community service program that it's through the high schools, where they need to have 30 hours of volunteer services. So I like to kind of reel those students in. So if you know anyone from high schools, bring them over, UPEI as well. And so when you come in, you'll meet me. We'll do a 2-hour orientation where I get to show you around, give a tour of the facilities, and then go through the policy and procedures, kind of the things you just need to know as when you go into a healthcare facility so that everyone's safe. But a big part of it is knowing what your role is, but what your role isn't. And that's a big thing I've learned over the time is volunteers will get asked a question just like a paid staff will, and it's knowing the boundaries around saying, okay, where do I get the help for you, even though I'm not trained? So we do some training in our orientation, such as assisted feedings. We're always looking for extra help in lunch times and suppers. but understanding that we're looking for that social, emotional, spiritual connection with our residents. So our volunteers are a big piece of the pie when it comes to that. And so if you have a hobby or a talent, music is a huge thing here at our homes. We love music therapy. Also, we'll be talking to the St. John's Ambulance after this, because pet therapy is a big success here. And we know that COVID has made that not as happening as much lately, but we look forward to connecting with you in the future, St. John's Ambulance. So we kind of take on that broad approach with the volunteers. We like to bring a smile to their face, and I find that it's kind of a two-tiered system where the residents are getting that attention, that stimulation, and that smile from a friendly face, but then the volunteers are getting that professional achievement, right? They're getting that name on a resume. They're getting references, right? So this is a career builder for some, and I know where Paulina, congratulations of starting a volunteer position and then going into a paid role. So that's a success story, and I have many of those here at Beech Grove and Prince Edward Home, and hopefully maybe some of our UPI students can find the same success story as well. I'm happy to be connected. I left my email on there. Thank you, Susie, for putting that down. So I encourage people to sign online. If you want to connect with me personally, I can get you to meet you in person, invite you to come for a tour. Usually we'll have a 2-hour interview, 2-hour orientation session that includes the tour, gets to meet the residents, and hopefully what we do is connect you with the right person. So like you said, I think St. John's Ambulance, not every dog is suited for every person they meet. Same idea, not every volunteer is not suited for every resident, or vice versa. So we, as volunteer coordinator and the recreation program, try to make those connections work, so that is success for both people involved. There's a lot of things that we do here with our recreation department, with exercise groups, feeding. We'll put on spiritual and religion masses. We're always looking for extra hands. The more volunteers we have to help with support our programs, the more people can join in our programs. So it just means more stimulation, more socializing for our residents. There has been some changes with COVID. Yes, we have certain screening things that you need to comply with. Our volunteers need to be double vaxxed, and they have to go through our orientation. And then as long as you have your criminal record and public sector or vulnerable sector check completed, we'll have you in and meeting and greeting our residents. So we also supply a volunteer shirt so that you stand out as a volunteer, so you don't get asked those nursing questions that some of our volunteers might get asked, like, can you take me to the bathroom? Well, through our orientation, I'll show helpful hints and tips about how to, find that help for them without having to do and take on like a paid staff would. So for the most part, our people that look at volunteers, our residents that see our volunteers, are those that are able to communicate. Maybe they're able to play games, or maybe they just need help with a computer. They're not that great with the computer, so we find those volunteers that are good on the computer. So we try to match it and cookie cutter it appropriate for both the volunteer and the resident. And when you get comfortable enough, we like to just spread your wings and you take on the people you like to see. We like to hear success stories. And so at the end of every year, we like to put on an appreciation dinner for our volunteers to show our appreciation. That has stopped because of COVID, but I think a lot of us, we've just bent and we're just flex, and we bent, we didn't break around this COVID times. And I think learning from all of you guys did the same. You guys had to bend and break as well. And I think hopefully you and I all here together can help each other, lean on each other when it comes to volunteers and what we could see, how to recruit more. This is great, this here. So I think that's about it. I have many I have many slides that I went through last time that didn't get to see. We had kind of an issue there, but this is great. So what I would encourage people is to go online, Health PEI website, click the link on the chat and fill out and make sure that you're clicking Beech Grove or Prince Edward Home. There's a lot of different facilities that you can connect and you can sign up with the hospital of Prince County. Make sure you sign on Prince Edward and Beech Grove Home, and that comes directly to me. And then I'll follow up with you and sign you up for an orientation session, and then we'll get you in as quick as possible. Did want to mention though, we do offer a community service bursary for those that are in high school. So if you get up to 30 hours, that goes towards your graduation bursary. For those that with hospice PEI, I know they were here last year, they are connecting with us. St. John's Ambulance, hope to connect with you in the future. And Oliver, I think you and I will have some discussion here as well. So I look forward to everyone. Good luck with your recruitment. And I think that's it for now.